Hey, it's your girl Ashley, and I'm back with another video. This is Made Holy Ministries, where word be holy just as the Lord himself is holy. Do not mind the fact that I have on this. I did not feel like taking down my hair. Okay, I didn't have time to really get dressed, okay? Forgive me. But besides all of that, y'all, it's time to go. It is time to go. It's time to move. It's time to, whatever the case is, it's time to leave. It's time to leave that place, that person, that thing behind and go. The thing, and the reason I know this is because God is doing this with me. And he even so confirmed it 2 other times. The first time I wasn't really picking up on it. And then when he spoke to me, it was just like, okay, that was my own personal revelation. And then he confirmed it again yesterday. And I'm just like, and I was talking with the Lord. I'm like, God, when you ready to move somebody and the person's not willing to move, God, you're going to uproot them. You're going to start making things uncomfortable for them. I mean, like, you're going to start to take the rug from under their feet, the roof from over their head, the bed from under their body. You're going to remove that person from up out of their face, that person from out of that job. Like, when it's time to let go of something or let go of somewhere, God, and the person does not want to let go because they're comfortable there, God, you're going to move them. And I'm like, God, like, and what this actually reminded me of was Jonah. It's when Jonah was on the boat. Jonah had got on the boat. And y'all, there was a storm at sea, meaning there was waters crashing against the boat. And what's funny to me about that is that Jonah was at the bottom of the boat sleeping. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of tribulation, in the midst of just hardship, this man is sleeping at the bottom of the boat. I've been on a cruise before, and I've been at the bottom where you get that little circle window. Y'all, and I remember rocking, and it wasn't even a storm at sea. Like, it wasn't even a storm. It was just like light tides hitting against the boat. And I mean, I was like rocking, okay? So I know there was no way that Jonah was able to sleep at the bottom of the boat. Like, there's no way he was able to sleep comfortably. There's no way. And so that's what it reminded me of in that situation, because he was so comfortable there. God had to uproot him, my bad. He had told him, throw me off over the sea. They was like, no, we're just gonna try to get to the land. They said they couldn't get there, so they had to throw him off. God will uproot you when your time is up, or when you have when you're somewhere you ain't got no business being at. God will be like, it's time to go. Yeah. Oh, you too comfortable. You like it here? Oh, you chilling here? Oh, you vibing here? Got to go. And the thing about that, and this looks different in every situation. Like, if you had a job, and this remind me of me in 2022, June 6th of 2022. I remember prior to that was the day I got. I had to look back at it. I don't think I got fired. I actually quit because she gave me the option. She was like, if you leave this job, don't come back. So I actually left for medical issues. I mean, I was going through an excruciating toothache. I needed a root canal, and I needed to get my tooth pulled out. Like, it was bad. She was not letting me leave. And I always came to work. I was reliable. I did not miss a day at work. The day I said I did not want to come to work, it was an issue. But I knew that was God, because that lady, the way I had got supposedly fired, or I guess I quit, that was nobody but God. But I digress. But that time, I remember before, when I had first got the job, everything was cool. Everything was smooth and everything like that. And then everything started going left. And I remember I just kept saying, I need to put in my 2-week notice. I need to put in my 2-week notice. I need to put in my 2-week notice. And I never put in my 2-week notice. And what happened? I ended up losing my job. God was like, oh, because you're too comfortable here. Because I was thinking logically, like, I need the job. Like, as bad as it may be here, I still need the money. Even if it ain't paying rent, baby, I need some money to pay something, right? And God uprooted me. So it's like that when God is like, your time is up at a job, and you don't want to leave the job, God would cause you to get fired. When he's trying to tell you to let go of that car, you don't want to let it go, he's going to let the car die on you, okay? When he tell you let go of that man or that woman, and you don't want to get up out their face, he going to let them hurt you so that you could get up out their face, okay? When God is telling you to leave somebody home and you don't want to leave it, God is going to uproot you from their home. God is going to cause something to shake where you got to go, okay? When you're in a place, in a state that you ain't got no business being in, God is going to uproot you. I remember, think about Jess. If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. I think she goes like Jessica. I know her thing used to be at Following Holy Spirit, but I think she changed it. And I remember she had told her story about how God was telling her to go to, I think it was, don't quote me, I think to Houston, Texas, and she was somewhere else, and she did not want to go. God made sure she got to Houston, Texas. I don't remember if it's Houston, Texas. And how did she get there? The police took her there. The police uprooted her from her place and brought her to Houston, Texas. Like, when God needs you to go, God will shake some things up. When God sees that you're too comfortable and you don't want to leave, he will uproot you. And for some of y'all, it's starting to look a little crazy. You're probably looking like, God, what's going on? God is saying you got to go. The thing about God, God does not allow us to get too comfortable somewhere. When you get a little too comfortable, God be like, yeah, you need more, add on. You got to go, you got to leave, you got to do this, you got to. God's like, I can't have my children being complacent, hitting a plateau, if I'm saying that right. No. God does not allow us to get too comfortable. He'll give you rest, don't get me wrong, but when you get too comfortable, especially in a place you got no business being at, or you overstaying your welcome, God's like, no, you got to go. And right now, for many of y'all, God is saying you got to go. This is why my ear's starting to get hot. This is why God be like, you see, that distracted me for a second. What I was getting at, I don't know, but you got to go. You got to go. You can't stay there. You're starting to look like, okay, why is everything going left? God, I was just good here. Everything was good here. God is like, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. And honestly, for me personally, I know God is telling me to go too, and I don't want to go. God is telling me to go back. Personally, I don't want to go back. I like it here. But God is like, I'm going to shake some things here for you because you can't stay here. And I'm like, why? And he reminded me the story of Jonah. Like, Jonah was up under the boat comfy. And God was like, uproots. And he went into a mandatory 3-day fast because he had no food to eat, nothing to drink. He was in the dark praying, consulting God's face, petitioning heaven for God. He's like, God, if you get me out of here, I vow to do what you told me to do. And God spit him out on dry ground. And what did he do? He went straight to Nineveh. God is so funny. And I'm like, God, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, why did you have to tell me? But Jonah was comfortable, though. He really was, okay? But it's time to go. It's time to leave. You're uncomfortable for a reason. Things are starting to look crazy for a reason. God is moving you. I don't know what that looks like in your situation. I'm not saying that God is moving you from state to state. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that things are starting to get uncomfortable because God is telling you to go. Like I said, he confirmed it to me. I kept seeing it at first, but I was ignoring it because I didn't want to do it. I didn't like, no, God, we're not doing that. And then yesterday I had came across, what's her face video? What's her name? Trust, Obey, Imagine Mysteries. And she mentioned something like that. I ignored it, but then somebody else, Jada the Boxer, had reposted her thing. And I'm just like, God. God is allowing you to be uncomfortable because it's time to go. It's time to go. Whatever that thing is, the job, the place, the person, you got to let them go. You got to let it go. You got to let the place go. You got to let the city go, the state go, the family go. You got to let it go. The money go. If he's telling you to no longer work, you got to let it go. God has more for you. God has more for you. It may not look like it right there and then, let's be honest, but you got to trust the process. You got to trust the process, and ask God to give you, like, prepare you for whatever is about to come, because it ain't going to be easy. Living by faith ain't easy. Leaving by faith ain't easy. Being obedient, let's be honest, that's not easy, because we want to tie our logics to everything. God, this don't look right. Family going to say this going to say that. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. It's time to go. It's time to move. It's time to leave. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. Okay? That is my message for y'all today. It was my message. I'm giving it to y'all because it's y'all message too. I love y'all. Bye.